So I thought I was done talking about the whole men's rights thing, but I found another video that I thought looked interesting. Be a Man, Modernists and Traditionalists Debate Masculinity. So what does masculinity mean to me as a cishet man? I'm going to be honest and say not a whole lot. My masculinity, my place in society as a man, is not something I personally care much about. My focus is just on trying to be a good person and trying to encourage others to do the same. And so the responsibilities that society has historically put on men isn't something that interests me, but these are important topics to a lot of people, so let's see what this debate is all about.
I'm so tired of like paying $150 for a first date, and then you just ghost me. And the next week I'm like hurting for cash. I'm like, I could have really used that $150. Like, why did I have to?
Also, the trade-off of like going on a date and as the man being like, oh, this sucks, I have to pay, or as the woman being like, oh, this sucks, I might get murdered, is like a pretty big imbalance.
Perfect. That was flawless, okay? I talked about this already in my previous videos on this. I've already made like 3, and that was a perfectly succinct way to put what I've been trying to say in all those videos, okay? The fact that men have like, I don't know, more difficulty dating, more difficulty like having sex, like that sort of thing, I guess, like more difficulty getting a date technically, is not evidence of like systemic pressure that men face, okay? Like institutional problems facing like cis het men, okay? However, there are many problems in that sphere that affect women. For example, the fact that like women have to be so like afraid of men. Like I said this in my previous video, like 4 out of 5 women will get sexually assaulted at some point in their lives. That is a real systemic problem facing women. Like the fact that this guy has to pay for his date that may not be interested in him in the future is not a systemic problem facing men. Now, there are systemic problems facing men. I do believe that, absolutely. And maybe we'll get into those as the video progresses. But generally speaking, women face significantly bigger and significantly more systemic problems. So again, that little 10-20 second snippet was absolutely perfect.
I'm thinking to myself, like, what does it mean to be a man?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have a good answer for that. Like, what does it mean to be a man? I don't know. Like, traditional answers would be probably something like providing for your family, being, you know, strong, that sort of thing. But like, I don't know. I don't see those as exclusive to men. Maybe it's a question that doesn't really need answering as we, you know, grow as a culture, as a society, as a species. But we'll see.
Now, to me, being a man is knowing when to be soft. Knowing that you don't always have to run the charge. You can actually listen. You know what I mean? So things have changed a lot over the course of the years for me.
Like, that's what being a man is to him. That, to me, that sounds like just being a person. I don't know. These like rigid binaries of what like it means to be a man, what men do or what men are supposed to do versus what women do and what women are supposed to do are changing, and like we're like moving away from these like rigid definitions, and I think that's a good thing.
What it means to be masculine is just like, you know, changing and like very fluid. But I think that, you know,
Agreed.
masculinity is something that just, you know, like you embody based off of just like how you show up in this world as a man, and just like, you know, how you go about being your day to day.
I think in 50 years, 100 years, that question won't mean anything. What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? These questions are going to lose their meaning. They're not going to be relevant questions as humanity continues to grow.
I think at its core, a man has to be efficient, competent, and be willing to do what it takes for themselves and their loved ones.
So women don't need to do that? Women don't have that same pressure, or shouldn't have that same pressure? That's what I would ask that guy. And if you feel that way, I'm asking you and let me know in the comments how you feel.
I've identified 5 points that I think make a truly masculine man masculine.
Okay.
I think point number 1 is a man who walks with God. Point number 2 is a man who stands on principle. Point number 3, which...
Okay, I want to talk about all these guys' points. Okay, walks with God. That's what being masculine is about. Shouldn't from his perspective, women walk with God too. Point number 2, a man who stands on principle. Okay, is he saying men stand on principle, so women don't or shouldn't stand on principle? Like, am I missing something? I don't know.
Point number 3, which is a masculine man is self-sacrificing.
So women aren't or shouldn't be self-sacrificing?
So someone who is willing to sacrifice for point 4, the people that he leads. A true man is a leader. And number 5.
So women can't or shouldn't be leaders? I don't, again, like, please, if you understand this man's perspective more than I do, maybe, let me know in the comments, because I don't get these like rigid binaries. I just don't. Like, why can't women do all of those things?
A masculine man is never a coward.
So are women cowards then? Are women supposed to be cowards? Should women be cowards? Should women not be cowards? Like, why are those 5 traits, I don't know why, need to be assigned to men or masculinity? I think that's what I'm getting at. Again, let me know in the comments if you understand this more than I do, or if you share a similar perspective, but I don't know why men need to have a monopoly on those 5 things, especially like walking with God. Like, if you're religious, shouldn't all people do that? All genders or whatever, you know what I mean?
I think what it means to be a man is responsibility.
So women don't have responsibility or can't have responsibility or shouldn't take responsibility? I don't get these rigid definitions, dude. I just don't get it. Like, I wish they would clarify, why can't women do these things?
I think my idea of a real man is, you know, someone that gets the job done, you know, and provides and all that. I don't even know what that means anymore, but
Exactly, dude. If you think about it for more than like a third of a second, you realize it's a question that holds no meaning. What does it mean to be masculine, or what does it mean to be a man? Even this guy, who's probably going to be like in the more reactionary side, I want to say, he doesn't have a good answer for it. The one guy with the cowboy hat, he didn't have a real good answer for it. These are questions that hold less and less meaning.
Christian.
What it means to be a man is to be a
Wait, Christian Walker? Hold on. The Christian Walker? I didn't recognize him. As in Herschel Walker's son, Christian Walker? Yo. He is like a conservative commentator, content creator. So like, you're gonna have someone who knows the talking points. So it's kind of like what Jubilee does with like half their videos. They like bring on like a professional. Like one of the ones I was watching the other day, they brought on a host of a PragerU like podcast who like against a bunch of like normies, you know what I mean? So like Christian Walker being here without like, you know, an equivalent from the other perspective is gonna, you know, tip the scales a little bit, I think. But it is interesting having him on this panel. I've seen some of his work. He's an interesting person. I believe he is gay. So, you know, gay, far-right conservative, always an interesting dynamic. But yeah, he is the son of the almost Georgia Senator Herschel Walker, former NFL player. So I'm curious what he's going to bring to this conversation.
But I do believe in bad men, and bad men exist. But does that mean every man is toxically masculine? No.
Who says that? Who said that? Who said that? I almost called him Herschel. Who said that, Christian? But no one says all men are bad, Christian. Like, that was a straw man. He just dropped a straw man. Typical, like, far right dropping a straw man within, like, 30 seconds of him talking.
Alpha bro who's going and, like, banging 20 women per weekend and not a responsible man. I find it more masculine to be a good guy.
I think the background of this...
It's more masculine to be a good guy. How, like, what vagary, like like I said earlier, like no one is going to be able to properly define what it means to be male, what it means to be a man, what it means to be masculine. This concept, this idea, there's no doubt, there's no water. It doesn't hold any water. We've moved past these binary definitions at this point. So like him saying being a man is being a good guy is so vague. It's meaningless. Like, women can be good. Does that make them good men?
A lot of those things are just things that people should be doing because they're like morally right. Like if you're in
Yes,
a family, you should probably
exactly.
support your family. And I really don't think that it has to do with like your manhood.
That's what I said before I even started this video. Like, I'm not focused, from my perspective, I'm not focused. I never think about my role as a man in society, in my household, at my work, and at all. I just focus on trying to be a good person, and that's all anyone should do, no matter your gender, no matter your sex. Again, I think the idea of gender, informing your actions is an outdated notion.
I believe manhood is clearly defined by God. It is the perfect example of what a man should be.
Christian, I see you.
Define it.
I grew up in a divorced home.
He didn't define it. Like, he just... he took all of that time to say, there is a perfect, clear definition of manhood, and it's given to us from God without defining it. It's frustrating.
Trying to like reconcile within themselves. Like, yes, being a man, you work hard, you take care of your people, but you got to be able to have that emotional side too, which is where the feminine.
Can women
energy
not
comes
do
in.
that?
What privileges are you referring to? Like, what privileges do men have?
We've constructed this entire society to benefit us.
Break it down. Like, what privileges exactly?
I don't know how you can, like, live to your mid to late 20s, early 30s, and, like, not understand, like, that we live in a, like, abject male-dominated society where virtually all institutional power is controlled by men. Globally. Every like, the overwhelming majority of world leaders, the overwhelming majority of, like, people who own companies, managers, anyone with institutional power, the overwhelming majority of institutional power is controlled by men. That is our privilege. That is one of our many privileges that this patriarchy that we live under assigns us, okay?
Are you gonna walk on the outside of the sidewalk? Are you gonna open the door? Are you gonna pull out the seat? Are you gonna pay for the meal?
I don't know, bro. That's kind of on you, the, like, kind of women you're choosing to date. Like, I never really had to think about those things with, like, the women I've ever dated. Like, not all women are like that. Not all women expect those things. Not all women are going to act in this way. That is on you for, like, matching up with the people you're matching up with.
Are you gonna be interesting during the dinner? Are you gonna be funny during the dinner? And then when you walk home, are you gonna drop me off? Are you gonna watch me walk inside? And then are you gonna text me after? And it's like trying to defuse a bomb. Like, if you think you're like...
Not all
red
women
wire,
are
blue
like that,
wire,
bro. Not even most women are going to be like that. Like, seriously, you are self-selecting into that dating pool, bro.
Now when we see women have that power, we're like, whoa, she's literally just getting a taste of the power that men have had for centuries.
Solid
But on
take.
the flip,
If you talk about a little bit of pressure that goes with it, yeah, there's a little bit of pressure. If you can withstand it, you become a successful man.
But what does that have to do with being a man? Like, surely, like, a woman can do all those things, so why even attribute it to your gender?
That's a good point, but I think also...
That's what I've been saying from the jump. Like, we're attributing so many things to men, so many things to masculinity. Why can't women do all of these things? Like, I don't really get it.
Generally, men are more logical, right? More reasoning.
No, bro. This guy's stuck in the Stone Age, dude. Yeah, I mean, this person's got the right look. Like, that is like a first grade, like, level gaff. Like, men are more logical, women are more emotional. Like, You got to tamp that out early. If you're still at that stage, you're going to have a lot of issues with your like perspective.
I disagree.
Based.
There's no scientific backing for that whatsoever.
I just think it's a commonly used stereotype. I mean, I'm
So
not.
what maybe talking about, okay, you guys can say that. I think more about me. Like, I'm more of like a logical, factual-based guy. Like, I have emotions, but, you know, I don't let that deter me from what I need to do, like my reasoning.
Do you talk with people about your emotions a lot?
So, do women do that? Like,
I mean, I have friends. I have close guy friends I can talk to.
You do?
Yeah.
Before I did finally go to therapy and get the demons out that I needed to get out.
Let's go.
It took me meeting
therapy. Let's
a
go.
woman.
And you see that in domestic violence situations, like men are like the perpetrators of that by and large. There's something wrong with masculinity when it becomes violent.
100%. I also think because of testosterone and a number of different things, men are inherently more violent.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. I agree with Christian Walker, a like far right political commentator. So this is one of those things where like, if like Tucker Carlson were to say the sky is blue, I would have to go outside to check. So like when Christian Walker says something that I agree with, that's where I'm like, do I need to check my like belief on this? Because he is like completely irrational and incorrect about everything else in his worldview. So when he says something, so when someone like that says something I agree with, it makes me question my own sanity. I like gaslight myself or something. I don't know. But I do agree. Yeah. Like, why are men assaulting women more than women assault men? Testosterone. Maybe I gotta look into it more because this fucking crazy person saying that.
Is there something inherently violent about masculinity?
Inherently violent? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. If a majority of men were bad, evil, violent, a lot of us would not be sitting here today.
Brother. What? Are you kidding me, dude? How many people have died due to wars that men start and men fight? Like, over the course of human history, how many countless millions of people, man, have died, suffered due to like men's need to like fight one another and like measure dicks. Yeah, there is clearly something inherent to like men that is violent. Like, this guy is dropping another just like terrible like first grade take here.
You can take any two 3-year-olds. You take a 3-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl. I have 2 girls. You know, their first instinct is to lie to me, to manipulate me, to say their sister said this when she didn't. I have a friend that has all boys. You know what they do? They throw a fire truck at your head. Bam. That's a natural response. That's not a learned behavior. They're taught.
Oh, that's totally a learned behavior. Yeah.
Bro. Again, like first grade, like 0 IQ level take, dude. This person's right. That is absolutely learned. Come on, dude. I love the perspective of the guy in the bottom left corner. He had the most open-minded, non-judgmental takes and the desire to genuinely learn what the others think. Yeah, he was good. Love this conversation. Thank you for having me. Said Tahoe TV. So this guy was on there. Who was he? That was the guy. So he is a content creator. I wonder what types of content he makes. She got a fatty.
I just seen a chick with the fattest ass, son. Yo, what is it about men looking at ass? Like, why do I do that shit? It's a problem.